Bush Barrow is the richest and most important barrow on Salisbury Plain and in Britain today. Now it appears as a grass-covered mound, but just think what it looked like 4,000 years ago. Built within sight of Stonehenge by a workforce committed to commemorating someone they held in great respect. At its completion, it would have stood out like a gleaming white mound made out of chalk, dug from a ditch using only the simplest of tools.
Overlooking Stonehenge, Bush Barrow is one of over 50 barrows in the Bronze Age cemetery on Normanton Downs. It was first excavated 200 years ago by William Cunnington.
In my last papers, I informed you that we had much trouble in the investigation of Stukely's Bush Barrow, and that we were at last foiled. However, I have now the pleasure to inform you that we have, after a great deal of labour, succeeded at last, and that our discoveries are truly important.
Alongside the remains of a man, Cunnington uncovered prestigious weapons, including an axe and 2 large daggers. One had a wooden handle elaborately decorated with fine gold wire pins.
The handle of wood belonging to the dagger had been richly and most singularly ornamented by an immense quantity of minute gold rivets, no thicker than the smallest pin. Mr. Crocker has drawn part of the end of the handle, which may give you a better idea of the whole. There are now a number of these minute golden rivets in the remainder of the wood which still adheres to the brass. When we first discovered these shining points of gold, we had no concept of their nature. Otherwise, we might perhaps have preserved them. But unfortunately, John, with his trowel, had scattered them in every direction before I had examined them with a glass.
This unexpected discovery was followed by more spectacular finds.
On the right side of the skeleton, a curious stone. Also some curiously ornamented bones, and a great many small rings of bones which were broken to pieces. It is perforated through in the centre, and had a wooden handle with a neat ornament of brass on the top. The article, I presume, was the insignia of dignity. An article of this form could never have been used as a domestic instrument.
So, who was he? Who knows? What we can say is that he was blessed with great powers, buried with one of the richest groups of material ever placed in a single grave. It was once thought that he may actually have built Stonehenge, although radiocarbon dating shows that that is no longer possible. What is possible is that he once held control over Stonehenge, and when he died, he was buried within sight of the monument, in a landscape sacred to the ancestors.
There is much that we do not know about this man, and new scientific methods may yet tell us more about him. Cunnington respected the remains of the men and women he uncovered. It's almost certain that the body of the man buried at Bush Barrow still lies there today, together with thousands more shining points of gold.